What is up? Good morning. We're out here on this dreary day. It's dreary outside. Look at it. Oh, dreary Kentucky day out here in the boat barn, I guess. My bass cave. But yeah, this is what I'm doing. Yeah, as you can see, I'm going through everything. I'm weeding out stuff. Got stuff I ordered. I'm trying to get everything consolidated. It looks like a chaotic mess, but it's a controlled environment. It's a controlled environment, and what I'm doing is I've got all my soft plastic split up into categories. But anyways, so what we're doing is I've got to get the boat done this weekend. If I don't get it done this weekend, I got problems because I got to drop this boat off Monday morning at Wheatus Marine. So those guys up there at Wheatus are going to do a few things for me, some maintenance stuff, and also check on a few things and add some stuff to the boat for next year, 2022. So yeah, we're going to put all this stuff in these boxes, reorganize, relabel, take old stuff out, take shit I'm not using out of the boat because I'm tired of having all this weight in here. It's too much. And we're going to get everything ready. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll show you maybe an after video, maybe what the organized section looks like. Holla at you. Day 2, okay. I guess hopefully you guys will be into this kind of stuff. Turn the light on real quick here. Yeah, much better. Anyways, we are out here in the garage where I feel like I have been off and on for the last week, even though it hasn't been a week. Anyways, yeah, so as you can see right here with the boat, it might look messy, but if you saw earlier in the video, this is a lot better than what I started with. And what I'm doing is I'm preparing for 2022. As many of you may or may not know, I've been accepted to fish the NPFL, the National Professional Fishing League. And with that comes prep work. On this level, you got to be on your game, not just mentally or physically. You got to be prepared. You got to have all your equipment prepared. You need to know what is in your boat, and that's something I haven't done in a while. I've had this boat since 2019. It's a 2018 20 PHX. It's an awesome boat. I got it from Wheatus Marine. Awesome boat dealer. But I bought it in 2019 in March, and literally just took all my stuff out of my dad's boat that I had at the time, transferred it over to this boat on top of buying stuff. You know how it is when you're fishing. You're always buying stuff. You're always seeing something you need to have. I just threw it in the boat, and over time I accumulated so much stuff that I didn't realize how much was in here till I actually had it spread all over this boat, and it was mind-blowing how much stuff I actually had. And so what I did is I contemplated on what I was going to do, how I was going to set the boat up for this year, and I think I've got a plan. I think I've got it figured out. On my Instagram, if you guys follow my Instagram, it's Adam Savage Fishing. My Facebook's the same way. All my social medias are on the same platform. I have a personal page under Adam Savage if you want to follow that on Facebook. But anyways, that's beside the point. But I had made a post, kind of asking everybody's help on how should I store my soft plastics. And it's something that you can get on YouTube and you can research, and there's a lot of videos on a lot of different ideas on soft plastic storage, jig storage, all that stuff. And I'm not trying to turn this video into one of those, but I'm just going to kind of show you how I have my boat set up. And through this video, you'll see the process of getting the boat together. But what we're doing is we're getting the boat ready. There's stuff I have to do in order to make sure that my boat is together. There's stuff I want to make sure that I have gone through. When you're spending this kind of money and fishing on this level, you don't want to take anything for granted or question. And I'm going to actually add some stuff to this boat. One thing I'm going to add is I don't know if this is the correct terminology, but I'm going to add the auto plug. Instead of having to get on my hands and knees, which if you guys do that, you know how it is. It's always uncomfortable, 1. 2, you get down there and you have that smell of just pure piss. And there's nothing refreshing in the morning or in the afternoon as to getting down your hands and knees first thing in the morning or in the afternoon, knowing and smelling piss on the parking lot and knowing that you're just laid all up in it just to put this plug in the boat. So I'm going to put an auto plug in here for reassurance for me, because you never know, you might dump the boat in and forget to put the plug in and it happens. So I'm going to put that in. I'm going to have them change a few things, go through some pumps like I said, and just kind of do a general overview of my boat to make sure that it's peak performance for next year. So what I'm going to do in this part is I'm going to show you what I've done, how I'm going to store my baits, how I've got everything labeled in the boat. Don't mind the mess. It's still a work in process. There's still a lot of stuff I got to do. I got to shampoo. I got to peel this wrap off, get the boat rewrapped next month. So yeah, a lot of stuff still to do, but I'm going to kind of, put a glamour of videos together leading up to the season. So also, my idea for next year, and you guys drop it in the comments and let me know how you feel, but what I thought about doing was, I know this kind of seems like this is what everybody does, but my plan was to film travel, going to these tournaments, possibly film the meeting if I can, if it's cool with Brad and Michelle and all those guys. And then, maybe we'll even do some like interviews with some of the anglers. And then also, of course, film practice and then film the tournament. I get to fish all 3 days, no matter what. If I suck all 3 days, I still get to fish all 3 days. So I thought about breaking a tournament up into like 2 videos, travel and practice, and then the tournament. So let me know what you guys think. Would you guys even care to see me getting ready and like loading the truck up and loading the boat up and then driving to all these different places? Or would you rather me just film practice in the tournament? So I'll leave that up to you guys. Ultimately, this channel is for you all, and for it to grow, I want to make sure I get your guys' feedback, because you guys are the most important ingredient in the YouTube channel. So let me know. But anyways, let's get to it. I'm going to show you how I'm storing my soft plastics. It's pretty much basic. I think everybody does it. And kind of let you know how I got the boat set up and my plans for 2022. Let's get it. So, like most people, a lot of people store their soft plastics in Ziploc bags. And I want to talk about that for a minute, because I have contemplated on buying those zipping bags. I had a lot of people say a lot of awesome ideas out there. I got back on feedback on my Instagram. There was one guy that mentioned using some shoebox like totes. I think they're actually like they're for shoes to put, they're like plastic totes. That was a good idea. There was one guy that mentioned laundry nets, which I never thought about that, but he said that way if it got wet, you could at least, it would dry itself. I had used these kind of bags before in the past, and my idea was I thought I was going to get some like the Bass Mafia bags or something, and kind of keep everything organized. I'm not very OCD, but I'm a little bit OCD. I like a little bit of cleanliness. I like stuff to be together, and I like for it to work. And after all that contemplating, videos, countless hours of videos, looking up different things that people are doing, I kind of fell back into the Ziploc game. Not saying that the bags and all the ideas I got weren't great ideas. It just, with what I'm wanting to do and how I'm going to do it, I think it's going to work best for me right now. Now, this could change. Middle of the year, I might say, this is crazy. I should have never did this. I shouldn't have wasted all these beautiful Ziploc bags and any of that. But this is my idea. This is my philosophy behind it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. My goal is to only carry what I need for the tournament, for that given tournament. I guess what I'm trying to say. In the past, I've always tried to keep all my soft plastics, a variety of soft plastics with me, as far as Cincos, trick worms, mag worms, everything. And I don't know why I did that. I guess it was just because of the fact of ease and knowing that it was there if I needed it. But I'm going to try this year to do something a little bit different. I don't know what I'm going to call this year, but I want to try to be a lot more organized, because I think you'll fish better. I think I'll fish better, I guess. So, like right now, which I know, like trick worms, for instance, you're not going to use a ton of these right now, but it's something that you can always throw. So, like right now, my plan is to keep trick worms in the boat. I got brush hogs. That's always a tried and true. And then I've got like your trailers, some different kind of crawls, some rage bug menaces. Just a variety of stuff in here, that you could use on jigs, chatterbaits, spinnerbaits, stuff like that. Of course, drop shots. So I got a bag of drop shot stuff, tubes, some Cincos, and some swim baits. So like right now, that's the stuff that's going to be in the boat. Excuse me. My plan is like I have backups. So like here's another bag of Cincos. Well, this will be in the truck. I already have a variety of colors in there. If I ran out of June bug, for instance, I can go in here, grab a June bug, throw it back in there. because that's something that'll stay in the boat probably the whole season. You know, the Cincos, the worm style baits, the creature baits. But like whenever we're done Cumberland in early spring and all that stuff, I'll probably end up taking the tubes out of the boat. So like this will come out of the boat, something else will go in. Drop shots, you know, we can always pretty much leave in there. I guess if you get what I'm saying here, like if I go to a lake and I know, hey, I'm going to be fishing drop shots and I'm going to be fishing mag trick worms. So like this would go in the boat. Whatever I'm not using is coming out of the boat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep a tote in the back of my truck. That way I have this stuff with me, because you know I'm still going to buy stuff along the way. You know, you're always going to go and check out the local tackle places, see what they have, see what the fish are kind of biting on. And you're always going to accumulate more tackle. I'm not saying that I'm trying to do it to where I don't accumulate any more tackle. What I'm trying to do is accumulate tackle that I would use. I'm still going to buy stuff just to buy stuff. I mean, I think we all do that as fishermen and fisherwomen. We're always going to buy stuff because it looks good. You know, we get sold on a lot of fishing baits due to the fact that we think it looks good. It doesn't really pertain to the fish. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to be more organized. I'm trying to buy stuff where when I run out of something, which I'll show you when we get in the center compartment, how I've got a lot of stuff that I use a lot. I'm a shallow water guy. I'm not a big offshore fisherman. I can do it. If I have the choice, I would not do it. So that being said, I've got stuff in this boat set up this year, which I'm pretty excited about, that's going to help me be more efficient and not do a lot of digging. It's going to help me keep my bait in the water. It's going to help me moving. And so I wanted to show you guys my center console, but this is how I'm going to store my tackle for the 2022 season. I know it's cliche, everybody does it. I was trying to get away from it, but it's cheap, it's easy, and it's effective. If a bag rips or the Ziploc thing quits zipping, I can literally buy a whole box of these for like little to nothing, versus if a a Bass Mafia bag zipper jacks up or something. I'm not saying that it would, never owned one of those, that'd be a little bit more expensive versus a Ziploc bag. Will this change? It could change, I don't know, but this is how I'm going to do it right now. So let's move on into the tackle inside the boat. Real quick, also want to give a huge shout out to Trickstep. This is something I added to the boat this year. I'm very, very happy with it. It's been used quite a bit. It makes getting in and out of the boat very, very easy. And when you're by yourself, you always know, like, you ever do that? You back your boat in the, you back your truck back in the water, load your boat up, and you got to climb off here. Now, Phoenix offers this nice big step right here, but when you're up here, you can't see that step. It's gone. So you're that guy that's like leaning over the side and you're slipping. I'm a bigger guy. I'm 6 foot 280, so it was a little bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you, to get the boat hinched back up and then walk yourself off the trailer. You're always doing the dangle dance across the tongue of the trailer. This just makes it so much easier. I can literally walk off this thing, bend down, tie my boat, walk off this, step onto that, step onto my bumper, and boom, I'm there. So huge shout out. It's a very sturdy system. If you guys are in the market, they make them for different boats. Those guys can even like make custom steps for your boat. And then I also recommend make sure you get the lock. Is it 100% foolproof? No, but it's going to help keep people from tampering with your stuff. As you can see, I can make it up in the boat really easy. I don't trip over all the soft plastics. But yeah, huge shout out to those guys. They're not a sponsor. I paid for that, and I'd pay for it again. So that'll be something I'm going to get on all my boats in the future. If everything goes good and I can get another Phoenix, I'll probably get it factory put on. So let's go inside here and let me show you how I did the center console. So as you can see, I've got everything pretty much labeled and sitting in here real nice and neat. Will it stay like this? Hopefully. Probably not though. It's just part of it. It's hard when you're in the heat of the moment to keep everything looking good, but my goal is to after every tournament to go back through here, replenish stuff that's been used or lost, and set my boat up for the next event. So what do I mean by that? Okay, so my plan is that, like right now we're fishing, you know, during the early pre-spawn, we'll call it February. You know, I'll consider that a pre-spawn for, you know, your smallmouth and such and largemouth. But so like right now I've got a lot of different baits in here. You know, you got your rock crawlers in here. I've got some jerk baits, cold cranks, some square bills, jigs, and all that. So my plan is what I'm going to do is, there's baits in here I'm always going to use. There's certain soft plastics I like to use as trailers. Like I said, again, I'm a shallow water guy, so I'm always throwing like your creature style baits, your crawls on the back of jigs, or Texas rigging them, or throwing them on top of a buzz bait, and so forth. So I've got boxes set up for like 3-inch and 4-inch creature baits, 3 and 4 inch cross. Those are always going to stay in my boat year round. Those boxes will never come out of this boat. I'm actually setting up another box for some stick worms, some trick worms that I always use, certain colors I always use. Instead of having to dig through bags, I know I've never done that before in the past, so this is going to be kind of new. I've always been that guy that kind of like, if you tore one off, you got down here, put a new one on, got back up there. Then I always thought, hey, I could always grab a bag, throw it in my pocket. But I'm going to try it this way. I think this is going to be easier. I'm going to be able to keep up with what I have and what I don't have. Excuse me. So if I run out of a certain color, I know, hey, I need to get in here, grab another bag out of my truck if I'm out at one of the tournaments, or if I'm back here at the house, I need to grab a bag, I need to replenish that box and get it set back up. So I'm looking forward to trying this year. Will it work? Hopefully. I've been doing a lot of thought on this, and if you guys have ever done this, or girls ever done this with your boats, it is, I mean, it's overwhelming because it's your office on the water. And this year, you know, I'm competing for a lot more money, and I want to make sure that I have my stuff set up that will help me. I want to be as efficient as possible, and I put a lot of time and effort into this, and I think this is going to help me the most. So we're always going to have soft plastics in the bags, the Ziploc bags there. Those will stay in this other rod locker over here that doesn't have rods in it. And what I'll do with those are I'm going to keep oddball stuff that I'm not going to store in these Plano boxes. And then once I'm done with those through the year, you know, like I said, if another event, if we're going to go fish like Hartwell, for instance, I know I'm going to throw a certain kind of plastic. I'll make sure those are in the boat. The other ones I'm not going to use are going to be out of the boat, in the tote, in the back of the truck. That'll help me with eliminating the what ifs and keep me focused on what I need to fish on, and also take some weight out of the boat. You wouldn't think they would add up, but if you would have seen, or you probably did see in the early part of this video, I had a shit ton of plastics in this boat. Pardon my French, but there were so many soft plastics in this boat, more than I would ever use, ever. I don't care what anybody says, I will never use all the soft plastics. So I've broke down to what I use, what I like using. Of course, there's going to be Carnage Custom Baits in here this year. I'm excited to partner up with those guys over there. If you haven't checked them out, check them out. Carnage Custom Baits. They got a Facebook, Instagram. It's a company that Zach Powers started, and then him and Tevis McCulley over at Whitetail Heaven kind of teamed up, and those guys doing an awesome job. They got some awesome baits. I've got a few of them. I've been catching fish off of them. If you watched the Del Hollow video, we were killing them off their swim baits, and I'm going to keep some of those in the boat. So hopefully we do good on those. And like, for instance, this is a good example right here. Okay, this is how I keep what I call my red box. It's actually labeled red box, as you can see. That's the red box. What I mean by red box, this box here has all my red crankbaits in it. As you can see, I've got an array of crankbaits. I've got some DT14s, some DT16s, there's some DT10s, DT6s. I've got some flat-sided Strike King baits in here. I've got some PH Custom Lures, flat-sided baits. I got some PH Custom Lures square bills. There's a PH Custom Lures square bill. It's a balsa bait, 100% balsa, hand-tuned. But these are baits here that I like to throw this time of year into the spring. It seems like when those fish this time of year in the water gets to a certain temperature, they get on these red crankbaits, and I keep this in here. Now what I do is to help myself with efficiency and weight is I'm only going to throw these colors certain times of the year. The rest of the year, I'm not going to throw these colors. I'm not saying you probably couldn't catch a fish off of them. I mean, it's an animal, but this is the time of year that generally everybody throws these color baits. Once that part of the year is over, these baits will come out of the boat. So I don't have a crankbait box with a bunch of red stuff in it. It leaves me more room to run other stuff and all that. So whenever that time of year is over, this bait will come out of the boat. Like right now, I could probably take these deep cranks out here. I just got them in here for right now. Always gonna have spinner baits, which that's pretty exciting. I got a new spinner bait box from Lure Lock, and I'm digging this thing. This thing right here, it doesn't have the tacky bottom, but it lets me keep like my 1 ounce to 3/4 ounce spinner baits. These are all like my 5/16 to 3/8 ounce from dirty water to clean water, and these are all my 1/2 ounce from dirty water to clean water. And then I got an array of Klacken's buzz baits, and I got an array of just regular old buzz baits, and which I need to up on some of those. But this is something that'll always stay in the boat, and that was something I always had trouble with because, like I said, I'm a shallow water guy, and with being a shallow water guy, it's hard to put all the spinner baits in one of those little Plano boxes without having a bunch of them. So I'm looking forward to trying that this year. got this all cleaned up. I took this whole thing apart, took all the boxes out, went through, put new boxes because boxes were broken, wiped it down real good. There was crap in the bottom of this thing that would probably cure COVID. Got all that cleaned up, restored some stuff, replenished. Now I know what I have. And I made some lists too of certain things I like using, so that way if I go online and buy something, I know, hey, this is the color of this I like using, this is the color of that. No more second guessing and buying stuff I don't need. Also this year, which I'm pretty excited about, I put my dad's photo in here. This man right here, that's my pops. Added his photo in the boat so he could be with me. He passed away in 2014, right before Thanksgiving. He's who introduced me to fishing, got this fire started, so I wanted to figure out a way that I could take him with me. So I put his picture up there. If anything, while I'm sitting here tying tackle or whatever, it'll be something that, you know, I could look at, kind of calm down and get recalibrated on what I need to do. So that's the center store console. I haven't really done anything with the rod locker. Rod locker is a rod locker. It's full of rods. And the one thing I did is I added some new graphs to the boat. Before I had the Lowrance HDS carbons. Not sponsored by Lowrance. So Lowrance, if you're out there and you're looking for an amateur, a guy that's just starting, holla at me. But anyways, I was trying to find the most efficient way to update my graphs but not have to spend a ton of money. So what I did was I had 3 Lowrance HDS carbons on here. I changed the 2 at the console. I left the 1 carbon up front because the only thing I really use that for is 2D and mapping. These Lowrance HDS Lives are amazing. The fans and the processors they got in them now, they run really quick, they're fast, no lagging. The picture's a lot clearer, and that's due to the fact that I took my boat to somebody that knows what they're doing. I'm not saying that, you know, different companies are better than other companies, but if you're here in the Kentucky area, you definitely need to check my guy out over at Central Kentucky Sonar. He did an amazing job. He's very informative. He answered a lot of my questions. So he hooked me up. He got my new graphs put on here, and what I also did is precision sonar. These graphs, you know, on the Phoenix boats, they have a shelf right here where you can mount your graphs. Well, the graphs I had on before had so much play, like you could be running in the water and these things were just like, you know, they're keeping my face air cooled because they were flopping so much. So I actually got me a new precision sonar dual mount for this boat. As you can see here, that's precision sonar. It's a dual mount just for this boat, and these things are solid, rock solid. I mean, I can sit here and shake this whole thing and I just moved the boat. So I've been using them for a while now. They're amazing. I should have did it a long time ago. I always have, well, not always, but a couple years ago I put the dual mount up there from Precision Sonar. But I'll put their link in the description below if you guys are looking for any kind of boat mounts for your graphs. Definitely check out Precision Sonar. They do an amazing job. Those guys over there are very helpful. They can answer any questions you may have regarding to your setup. I think they even do like custom mounting if you need it. Don't hold me to that, but I believe they do that. So that's one other thing I did to the boat this year. I didn't want to have any excuses to say, you know, not to saying that the carbons weren't working, but I wanted to get something a little bit newer. That way it's fresh, it's in my mind, I feel better about it. So the smart thing for me to do this year was just to change it to at the console. I want to give a huge shout out to Cross Industries. Cross Industries hooked me up with the graphs. If you guys are in the market, need any kind of boating, trucking, ATV, any of that stuff, Cross Industries has everything. They pretty much, if they don't have it, you don't need it. And that's the honest, God's honest truth. They have pretty much everything for everything. They even have stuff on there for saltwater boats. So definitely, I'll put their link in the description below too. Go over and check Cross Industries out. If you have any questions or any products on there, shoot me a message or shoot Chaz a message. Very helpful. So huge shout out to them. We got the graphs put on here, and let's move on to the next. This other product I have on here, I've been running for, I guess, about 12 months now. It's something that you can pick up at Precision Sonar, and that is a motor leash. This thing right here, if you don't know what that is, I'll give you a little brief summary of what it does. It's pretty self-explanatory, but what this does is if you're running down the lake and you hit something, this cabling system that goes around your motor, mounts to your transom there, it keeps the motor from kicking up and injuring you or your co-angler. If you got a boat, I don't care if you got a bass boat, if you got an aluminum boat that has a motor on the back of it, you definitely need to look at getting a motor leash. I mean, just the thought of, you know, hitting something, you don't got to hit something very hard either for it to flip that motor up. So that's something else I added to the boat. For this year, it's been on there, like I said, for about a year now. I haven't had any trouble. I haven't had anything, thank God, but it hasn't caused any damage or rub. It comes with these nice little clear pads right here. I don't know if you can see those, but there's some clear silicone pads that come with them, so it keeps, you know, for the rub and stuff. But other than that, never had any issues. You know, like always, every so often you want to check your bolts on anything. You know, hitting hard water and stuff, driving down the road, stuff gets loose. So you always want to check your power poles, you know, all your bolts. Make sure you got them torqued to factory specs. But I put that on myself. It was very easy, very self-explanatory. There's videos on that, so it's not hard to do. But that's something I definitely recommend. So go over to Precision Sonar and grab yourself one of those, or your friend or your family member that has a boat, because I don't know, you know, that could happen and it'd be terrible. So the next thing, let's go to the next thing. The next thing we're going to talk about, and I'm laughing because I just thought about this when I was opening these lids. I was like, this is something that everybody has a video on, and it's that dreaded part of the boat. Can you guess what I'm doing? Can you guess what I'm lifting up right now? I'm towards the back. Any guesses of what I'm going to talk about? And that's batteries. Yes, batteries. It seems like everybody always has trouble with batteries. Have I had trouble with batteries? Absolutely. I've had a lot of trouble with batteries. Would I love to have lithium? Absolutely. I would love to have lithium for the weight and all that, but you know, I don't have any kind of sponsorship, and as many of you may know, when you don't have a whole lot of sponsors, this stuff adds up. You know, like this year for the, you know, the tour for NPFL, I'm pretty much paying for the whole season. I had a couple sponsors, you know, put in some money for me to help me out, and it's very much appreciated, but you know, I'm just starting out, so kind of balling on a budget. And what I had to do was I had some batteries in here that were kind of questionable. They kept causing issues. So I went over batteries, bulbs, and I think it's battery and bulbs, or batteries plus bulbs. And I got some AGMs. Don't ask me what the difference between AGM is and lead acid. I know that I think AGMs you can run them down a lot. You can run them down more and it doesn't hurt them as bad as lead acid batteries. Hopefully in the near future, if I get another boat, if I'm fortunate enough and God sees it fit, that I continue to do this, my next boat will have lithium batteries on it, if I can afford it. Lithiums have came down a whole lot since, you know, when they first came out, you know, what, 6 years ago when they kind of hit the craze. You know, they were ridiculous. I'm not saying that they're not still expensive. You know, they are expensive, but I'm a firm believer in you pay for what you get. And so far with those AGMs that I got in there, and they're Duracell brand, I haven't had any issues. I've fished for 12 plus hours multiple days in a row here locally, and I haven't had any issues. I've had issues in the past with other bad batteries, which were the lead acid batteries, and it seemed like whenever you ran those lead acid batteries down and drained them and then charged them and drained them, it would just kill them. I don't know if there's some kind of life expectancy for doing that, but these AGMs, I've been all day, came back and plugged my batteries into stuff or checked my graphs, and you know, they're still running at like 11% volts. So I've been very happy with them, but hopefully eventually I can get lithium just to help me out with the weight, because you know, batteries are heavy. When you got 4 back there, it's a lot of weight. Also, which this has been in the boat for a very long time. I had this put in the boat, I guess 2 years ago. Sea Clear Power. I am running a Sea Clear Power wiring harness in here, and I will tell you this, it wasn't wired that way when I bought the boat, and I could tell a huge difference in my picture quality. And if you're curious to see what your graphs are running, get on your graph, go in there and have it pop up where you can see the voltage. And even though you have, you know, lithium or, you know, AGM batteries or whatever, the way your graphs may be rigged up, you might not be getting true 12 plus volts to your graphs. And that's why a lot of times people will see, you know, that picture of that graph in Bass Pro Shop or Cabela's was awesome, but you know, on my boat it doesn't look as crystal clear, and that's why, because it's not running off the same voltage as it was in the store. The only thing else I got left to do the boat, other than have Weedus Marine go through it, is I got to get some tires, 2 back tires actually. My front tires are good, but it's because, you know, when you're turning or backing up, those pivots, you know, when you're pivoting, it's kind of just grinding those back tires. So I don't really rotate my tires, and the way I look at it is, yes, I could rotate them and they could wear evenly, but then I'd be buying 4 tires. So really, only thing I gotta do is buy 2 tires. So I'm gonna buy 2 tires this year, and then we're gonna get the boat rewrapped. I'm gonna wrap the boat with Cross Industries. I'm actually gonna get the truck wrapped as well. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys that. But that's really it, man. That's the boat in a nutshell, pretty much. Like I said, it's a 2018 Phoenix 20 PHX. That's really all I got on the boat. Got the live scope. That's the 12-inch touchscreen. I think it's the 1222 SV or something. That's just the eco mapping version. That's the cheapest version to get. Is just get the mapping version, so you don't have to worry about buying transducer and all that. But got that over at Cross Industries. Everything else on the boat's running tip top. Knock on wood. I better go over and knock on this 2x6. I'm gonna get the motor. I'm gonna get the motor ran through. Lower unit oil changed. Impeller. The plugs have already been changed here recently. I'm gonna have them check through my filters and just make sure that everything has been ran through to kind of keep me from having any issues if possible. I've kind of got my truck set up this year to be kind of like a service truck. I put a deck system in the back of it. If you guys know what that is, it's just a storage system that goes in the bed of your truck, has 2 pull-out drawers, and I'm loving it. One side's full of tackle, the other side's full of tools, you know, impact wrenches. I got battery torque wrenches in there, drills, tools. I bought pretty much everything I would need if I had to take off different screws in this boat, you know, pull off a bolt. I got all the tools I would need where I could physically do it myself. Because I think right now we're probably going to be our own service trailers. So yeah, that's it, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting the season started and trying to see how I stand up next to these guys. Hopefully we do well enough that we can meet the right people and that would show interest for the following season. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to the challenge. I'm definitely looking forward to meeting everybody, competing with those guys, and hopefully building some relationships. It seems like that everybody in that league is like a family. I got to go with Cortland Williams. He fished with them this year, and I actually went to the Wright Patman event in Texarkana, and to say I was blown away would be an understatement. During the meeting, those guys were like a family. It was a brotherhood. You know, everybody was concerned with everybody's practice. You know, if there's any kind of boat issues, everybody helps each other out. And not to downplay or belittle any other organization, but you don't see that a whole lot in this league, in this level. And with the NPFL, those guys are like a family, and I'm really looking forward to being part of that family. I feel blessed that Brad and Michelle and Al and Paul and all those guys believe in me enough to give me a chance. I never thought it would happen this quick, this soon, and I know I'm being dropped into a Shark Tank. John Sukup, Keith Carson, there's a lot of guys that I could list here that are some absolute sticks, and some guys in the league you probably never even heard of, but they catch them. And you better come in there with your big boy pants on and your mind right, because they'll kick your teeth in. Is that what G-Man would say? So what I'm going to do is just do the best I can, and that's all. Like everybody tells you, it comes with time on the water. If there's anything on here that you want me to answer a question about on my boat, I know this was kind of like a rough kind of around the edges video, but it's kind of wanted to show you how I had everything set up this year. Let me know. I'll be glad to answer any questions. I'm going to try to talk more in my videos. I know I've had a couple guys comment, and my brother tells me all the time, hey, when you're on the lake fishing, you need to let them know what you're doing and why you're doing it that way. And it's just hard. If any of you guys out here film while you fish, you know how it is. You kind of get in the moment. So I'm going to try to do better. So like during practice, I'm going to try to break down what I'm doing, and why I'm doing it, where I think I'm doing it this way. And I'll probably be wrong half the time. I mean, I'm learning. But yeah, I just want to tell you I appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody that's joined my YouTube channel. I appreciate all the friend requests on Facebook and Instagram, all the positive feedback, the messages congratulating me and wishing me luck. It doesn't go unnoticed, and I feel very fortunate to be able to do this next year. Like I said, man, I was blown away whenever Brad called and offered me to fish. I'll be honest, I thought he was giving me a courtesy call, and it was total opposite. So to know that people are watching what I'm doing and believe in me enough to give me an opportunity makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing. So don't want to make a savvy video here, but I do appreciate y'all, and until next time, we'll holler at you.